All right, so once again, I have not said what the movie we're going to do the real thoughts is to Rob. And after the film that we just watched, I can't give it away yet, but it is also a Will Smith film. So let's talk about a bad one, but not as bad as we just saw. Let's talk about Independence Day.
What's to talk about?
What's to talk about? Especially with the sequel having come out and everyone so shocked at how bad it was.
I don't know why that was a surprise.
I really can't believe that. I just thought, these guys that made, this movie where everything blows up and then they just tried to make it over and over again, except worse and worse, and then they tried to do it with the exact same people and plot, except half the people weren't there, the entertaining ones, and it was boring. That really surprised me. These people that didn't even really make that good a movie in the 90s.
And after Roland Emmerich has been making such a string of amazing films.
Just amazing. I mean...
From, Stargate to... Independence Day
to Godzilla, The Patriot. Oh. Which is probably the best of his films, honestly.
You wrecked my joke. I was just going to say Stargate, Independence Day, and then nothing. Because that's really been it. And of those two, I actually like Stargate more.
Yeah, I like Stargate more, too. It's still not
mercifully,
good,
it's dumb, but it's mercifully short.
Actually, I don't know if it is, but I'll say it felt short.
Compared to Independence Day and all the other ones since then?
At least it felt short. Stargate, as much as I pick on, is just, like you said, maybe Stargate is to me what Independence Day is to everyone else. It's like harmless, stupid fun. With a scene about Kurt Russell's kid killing himself, which, what the fuck was that? But aside from that, it's innocent, harmless fun. I guess you could say the same thing about Independence Day, but it's just... so stupid. Except that it has Will Smith, who is amazing, and he's the one great... Will Smith and the models are the two legitimately great, fun things in this movie, and there is a fair amount of them.
My money, when I saw it originally, first half didn't really bother me much.
I look like a schlemiel. Why did I send my mother to California? None of that bothered you?
No.
Really?
Not really, because
you have greater tolerance than I do.
We were fresh off of Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. It's Uncle Frank or Aunt Jack or whichever one they were playing. It was more just, I'm like, this is all right. It's not great, but, it was cool to see the big ships, and then they blow up everything. And I'm like, awesome. I'm good. We're done. Out. And then,
more keeps going.
More movie. That's where it fell apart for me, because I'm like, no, you blew your load too early. You splooged your explosion all over the screen, and it was great. This was back in the day when you would just build a model of the White House or that tower in L.A., whatever it is. Somebody gives a fuck about L.A. Or Manhattan or whatever, or the Empire State Building, and they actually blew these the fuck up.
Yeah, this is one of the last films to use.
We got out of Ghostbusters, where it was just some of the shittiest effects, like tearing apart the city there, and I'm like, this is back in the day when you would just, you would actually blow shit up. Yeah. And after that, I was just like, I'm done, because there was nothing in the rest of that movie that could compete. Like, Will Smith had some good lines. I'm done with the movie after Will Smith shoots that alien down.
Yeah.
That's
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah. Welcome to Earth.
That's why I call it Close Encounter. Like you said, roll the Fresh Prince credits just like in the review, end the movie.
We'll
survive somehow.
Actually, it ended right there. Just, Welcome to Earth. That's why I call it. Yeah, Welcome to Earth, cut to the end credits, and then just, that's why I call it Close Encounter. The end. That's your stinger. I probably like, all right, that was a pretty decent movie, but it keeps going and going, and characters I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about the president's wife.
I was gonna say, we have to know what happens to the president's wife. We have to know what happens to Randy Quaid.
Yeah, fucking hate Randy Quaid in that movie, and I don't hate Randy Quaid in all things, but I love him in Christmas Vacation. But
he's perfect.
And then and then Bill Pullman with the silly speeches and the yes, mommy's sleeping. Today is hard. It's not just an American Independence Day; it's the world's, and then we will not go silent. It's just It's not for, it wasn't for me. I was too old and jaded by the time that came out. I was in late high school.
I think we were too cynical.
Yeah, honestly. I was in late high school, and I'm just like, this is just silly. Like, this is meant for 10-year-olds. And most of the people I know who really like that movie were about
pretty young.
10 years old when it came out, so...
I think there's something to... I'll give this movie this, and I really do mean this kind of in the highest compliment. It really is just a combination of everything that was like just kind of 90s and fluff and kind of the stereotypes, and Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith being Will Smith, Bill Pullman being Bill Pullman.
My favorite is when he just quotes Jurassic Park, must go faster.
Yeah, must go faster.
I'm like, really? Wow, okay, we're just doing that.
The aliens were like every alien you saw at that time, and I think it's kind of the same thing, honestly. I kind of think about Space Jam. I fucking hate Space Jam, but it is very interesting to see just how 90s it is, how a product of its time it is. And that is kind of interesting now. It actually is kind of interesting watching.
It was definitely one of those early, I don't want to say viral marketing, but big marketing moments.
One of the best marketing movies ever.
One of the best because it did that tease. It was like, I want to say it was like we were watching the Super Bowl.
It was the Super Bowl, yeah.
And they blew up the White House.
And that's all they show. They show these ships coming, and then just suddenly the White House blows up, which we didn't see with those kind of effects yet. We didn't have the CG, we didn't have these... And the movie like this had not really been done around that time, at least for years and years and years. We had the B movies, and we had Day the Earth Stood Still and stuff like that. But suddenly, yeah, this amazing looking, like the White House blows up, and this is back when movies had to explain that, and they had to do it well. So that when you saw the White House blow up, you would say, what led to this? What movie is gonna have this where this is a scene and it's gonna be good? See, we weren't at a point yet where these movies could happen and they just didn't give a shit. They could throw whatever crap they want at you. They had to actually try to make good movies. But when the CG explosion, literally and figuratively, happened, suddenly it didn't care. You came to see the effects and the characters and story, that's all secondary. So I think that was like the first film to sort of get like these disaster films going, where the characters didn't matter.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Ditto. No, no, I was just gonna say it did its job because we all wanted to see it. We all really did see it. That was a double-edged sword though, because they showed the best scene in the movie. Yeah. And when that White House blew up, that's it. I was out. Like, and I was kind of like, oh, well, what else could you possibly do? Like, I didn't even think far enough to like, oh, they have to defeat the aliens. I almost would have been fine if the aliens just took over. But
no, I kind of like the idea of like, Will Smith punches the alien, welcome to Earth. You roll the credits, and then there's a part 2 coming. I actually would have been okay if like, they were advertising part 2. You know, like, if it just ends with the world is destruction, they're all looking, and they're shaking their heads like, we're gonna get these fuckers. And then roll the end credits like, whoa, I totally would have seen the next one. I totally would have seen Resurgence if that was the sequel they were promising.
It just kind of goes on forever in the middle of the desert, and I don't give a shit about I'm only into it for Will Smith, and I will say this, I did enjoy Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum together.
I kind of like that. That was that mini Brent Spiner explosion, too, where he was in every film that year. He was in this, he was in, like, Phenomenon. He was in a Star Trek movie, he was in, like, Out to Sea. I mean, suddenly he was
doing
just
almost like a Paul Lynde thing, where he's just like, we don't get many people down here.
And what, he's apparently in the sequel? He didn't die?
Yeah, what? When I heard Brent Spiner was there, I was like, how? I don't know.
We have not seen the sequel, by the way. I have no intention. None whatsoever. I just do not want to see it. Everyone's like, what do you think? You gonna do a review? I'm like, no, fuck this movie. It's way too late. It looks so boring, and that's what everybody says. And boring movies are hard to do.
And some of the reveals are so silly, just like, listen, no matter what you may have heard, there is no such thing as Area 51. Actually, Mr. President. I'm like, isn't the NSA's job supposed to tell the president everything? That is the one perk of being president. I'm like, how the hell did he not know that?
And nobody, when these aliens were landing and everything, said, you know that Area 51 thing, maybe we should look into that again. Just like, nope, gotta keep it quiet, gotta keep it, not even gonna tell the president. It's like, none of this ever occurred to them.
Well, not only that, he's a fucking Air Force pilot. You would think that maybe somewhere in his past he could have even flown there. I don't know.
Hacker Jeff Goldblum will find a way to.
We need to give it a call. Yes. Chew. Gesundheit.
I'll say, this film
how do you fucking do that?
For comedy's
I don't know. Somebody said that it's explained in one of the deleted scenes or something, but I'm like, even then, I'm just like, not. Somebody's like, well, it had something to do, I guess, maybe like they found the technology. You know what? I shouldn't have brought this up because the YouTube's just gonna be, the comments are gonna be flooded with people explaining it. But apparently somebody
It's not like it's hard to find any other things that don't make sense in this
Yeah,
movie.
it's like they found they reverse engineered the alien technologies. They can figure out how to talk to it with that ship they caught, and I don't know. I find it highly questionable in a movie like this. I'm saying it doesn't make a lot of logical sense, and this movie was founded on logic. Right?
Right. Yeah, no, actually, that's what I was going to say, is that, to its credit, I can definitely see how someone can like this film, especially if you grew up with it young. It's kind of also the same thought for, like, the first 3 Spider-Man movies. It's like, I get it. You're not supposed to kind of question it. You're supposed to just sort of have fun with the ride. Honestly, if the characters were more like Will Smith in this movie, or they had that charm and they had that interest and they threw in some surprises,
are you saying Randy Quaid isn't charming?
Right. Even Goldblum I would have accepted, just because he's Goldblum and he's fun to laugh at and stuff like that, and now even he's laughing at and having fun. But if they were like that, I would have legitimately thought this was fun and not question, the technicals or anything. But it's just, I don't know, these stereotypes are just so not trying and so thinking that they're trying. And so you haven't seen these characters yet, haha. And it's like, no, we've seen them a million times.
I just don't find most of them really all that likable. They're more bland than anything.
They're bland. We've seen them from every film ever made.
But it gave us, like, the summer of Will Smith, so... Like, it kickstarted, then that was a good ride for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
No, there was a while where even if he was in a bad film, he couldn't do wrong. He was just amazing. He had the rap albums, and he just was phenomenal. And and then he was just like, hey, what's Shyamalan up to? And
I need a role for my kid.
Yeah. So,
But y'all ain't laughing.
There's something about, again, I can kind of like, because the word being tossed around with it, and again, I get it, is like Americana. It's kind of like, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, battles the aliens. Especially like when they're flying and that jokester who is just gonna die. I mean, he's just there to die, and he's doing his impression of the Reverend. Yeah, no, my favorite scene, I just like piss myself laughing whenever I see, is when he's doing like the Reverend talking and stuff, and all the pilots are just... they're just shaking their heads like, yeah, that's our jokester. And it just kills me every single time. That guy. Yeah. It just kills me every single time. So... It's in that kind of way where it's like, it's kind of fun. And the dog making it and stuff. I can see somebody legitimately liking this, like, hey, lighten up, just have fun. Or someone liking it, like, this is so insane, to the wall, silly, you gotta laugh at it.
It's not legitimately good, it's goofy good.
Yeah.
So when people try to tell me, no, it's an amazing good...
It really works.
No,
it's a legitimately good film.
No,
it's not. And I think
good.
You know that. And it's
good,
fine to like it.
It's good in that guilty pleasure, this is kind of dumb way.
Yeah, and we definitely have those movies. Like, I always reference, like, the first Ninja Turtles film, which is so stupid, but I love it. And I even love the emotional moments and stuff, but it's Teenage Mutant fucking Ninja Turtles. It's really dumb.
No, the fucking version would be the TMNT porn.
Porn, yes.
Which Brad reviewed.
the first Transformers movie, the Michael Bay one, I'll admit, I legitimately think that's a fun movie.
I'm glad you do.
But it is the dumbest fucking thing ever put on film. It is so stupid. I'm not going to defend it.
Yeah, there is something.
But I think it's a lot of fun.
Because I remember, like, it was on a few months ago, and I was watching it. And my wife loves that movie. When they were playing
a lot of people love that movie. Yeah,
she was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so psyched! And I'm like, "Have fun, honey. I don't care."
I completely get it. I 100% understand.
We're watching it, and I'm watching Independence Day, and there's scenes where I'm kind of laughing, and I'm into this, and every single time something happens where I'm just like, why don't I like this movie? I'm having fun right now in the moment. What happens? And then it's always somewhere in the second half. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. As soon as you see the Statue of Liberty on the ground, doing the Planet of the Apes thing, and it's just sort of like, oh wow, because again, we never saw that at that time. There was kind of like this whoa, and then after that, it just kind of drags.
And there's things in the second half that I enjoy. But it's just something about the way it's all pieced together. Like, I'm like, okay, Area 51, that's goofy, that's fun. Brent Spiner, that's goofy, that's fun. We, they go into the ship, they give it a call, that's stupid, but that's goofy, that's kind of fun. The whole Bill Pullman speech, "We not go quietly into the night." Like, I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous with saluting the president. And
I love that one soldier's like, "Motherfucker!"
I think his arm actually detached itself. That's goofy. That's on every time I watch. I'm like, I like these bits, but then there's something that I'll tell you where I lose it. Like, I'm fucking done with the movie, because, like, all those bits are funny. I'm really done with it when they try the nuke attack. I'm like, fucking this movie grinds to a halt.
Yeah, that's
Jeff Goldblum gives this whole environmental bullshit to the, we're gonna blow it up. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna kick a trash can. I'm drunk. And we're good for it. Blowing it up. Anti-nuclear weapons and this and that. And I'm like, the funny thing is, I'm like,
decides to go green.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not a fan of, like, nuclear weapons, but I'm like, this just brought this movie to this 15-minute standstill.
Yeah, no, that
because we know, and then what do? They fire it. It's like, aha, we did it, and it didn't work.
Yeah, no, I really thought
what was the fucking point of that? You could have shown a scene with them firing a nuke and gotten through that in literally 60 seconds.
That's also where the president's wife is dying. That's when the aliens are trying to talk to them.
And Jeff Goldblum's argument is so full of shit. So fucking stupid. We've got aliens attacking, and we found out that they basically want to drain our planet of resources, but you can't fire nuclear weapons on them because there may be fallout. It's like, dude, what's your only other option?
Yeah, and we're already everything's already nuked. It looks like that already went off.
I'm like, they've destroyed I'm like, fuck yeah, you can fire the nuclear weapons. If it doesn't work once, then you know. If it does work, maybe that's your only option.
God, I totally forgot.
It was so. I'm like, this is not the time to shoehorn some anti-nuke message into a movie when you've got aliens, when you've got giant calamari already fucking frying the planet. This makes no fucking sense.
It makes about as much sense as he does in Jurassic Park. He always plays the environmental scientist whose, like, theories are total bullshit. Because, like, half of what he said in Jurassic Park kind of makes sense.
The message finds a way. Yeah,
no, I remember because I cut this out of the review because it was getting a little too long, but, like, when he was saying, like, oh, no, you can't bring them back like you did condors, or trying to do condors, dinosaurs. They had their chance, and nature selected them for extinction. And I'm like, what are we? Are we not nature? Are we not doing any of this? And stuff?
Condors did not adapt to us, apparently. No, we are outside of nature. Like,
we are above nature, and so it's like, and all these things where it's like so by the same token, his arguments make sense, but like 5 of them don't.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole part of the movie just it drives me nuts, because I'm like, guys, okay, if you want an anti-nuke message, there's a time and a place, but it not only made no fucking sense, but it just stopped the movie in its tracks, and it's always right there where I'm just like, and this is why this movie doesn't work for me. I'm like, it was riding a lot of goodwill, then it slows down, it meanders, it's kind of dumb, it's silly, but then it just stops there, and I almost just don't even want to watch the rest of it, trying to get through that slog right in the middle there. And then just, the mommy sleeping. I'm just, it tries too hard. Yeah,
there's this, here's the thing too, I think all these characters, like I said, I think even people that love this movie know they're cliches, they're all stereotypes. Yeah. But there is kind of this, I get why people like that. Again, it's kind of like, I know you can't stay and watch it, but like when we saw the Gem movie, I was laughing my asses off because of how awful these stereotypes were and everything. And it really made me laugh. I thought it was fun. But I think with this movie, I feel like the filmmakers legitimately thought, like they're bringing these good characters, like these strong, interesting characters, and here's why you like them. And we're the first ones doing it.
We're not talking about a movie like Independence Day, where it kind of takes in and has Gem had its chance, and nature deselected it for franchise evolution.
Good for nature. But there's something where it's like, the only thing that kind of bothers me, if you watch this movie and get into how corny and fun the characters are, I get that. It's when people watch it.
That's what I ride until that point.
Yeah, it's when people watch it and go, I really wonder what's going to happen to Randy Quaid. I really wonder what's going to happen to Jeff Goldblum and the Jewish father and the, Will Smith and stuff, when they're just like, I don't. Legitimately don't know. I don't know. And it's like,
it's a bad
minute they show up, you know everything that's going to happen to them.
Yeah, because it's a bad disaster movie.
Well, it started the bad disaster movies.
No. Bad disaster movies go.
Spiral.
But that's the funny thing is, it's basically taking its cue from bad 50s, 60s, 70s
The B
aliens
movies done,
and
yeah.
disaster movies. So it's just recycling them, which is why when it does it in a fun way, I can kind of deal with it. It's when it slows down like that I'm like, oh, it's like it gets too drunk on itself. Independence Day drinks the Kool-Aid a little too much. And I think that's probably the problem, where it's like, no, now we have to have a message. Like his other fucking films do from that point forward. Like he got drunk on his own Kool-Aid. It's like, no, now this is important.
Day After
This
Tomorrow,
means something. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
yeah.
It's bullshit. Just have fun with it. And when the movie does that, I think it's actually like fun. It's like really the difference between Independence Day and Mars Attacks is really a slightly comedic tone and budget.
Yeah.
they hit all of the same themes and the same cliches and tropes, and for the same reason I like Mars Attacks, I kind
Wow, you're the one.
I enjoy Mars Attacks. Like, I'm like, it's stupid, but it's the same reason I like Independence Day, except Mars Attacks, like, the whole way through knows it's dumb, and Independence Day at some point is like, no, now we're gonna be important. And I'm like, no, don't bother. Like, just go and have your fun, and like,
You know, like all the people that were kind of like agreeing with you as soon as you said you like Mars, they're just like, nope, I'm out.
I'm not. Hey, at no point did I say, you know what's a good movie? Mars Attacks. That's the difference. I just said I like Mars Attacks. I'm not sitting here and saying Mars Attacks is a good movie.
Yeah, no,
But it's definitely a guilty pleasure for me.
I like the soundtrack.
Come on.
It's probably the last really good Elfman score.
It's strong, powerful words.
Yes. So yeah, if you like this film, like I said, there is no part of me that's like, what the hell's wrong with you? How can you like this film? 100% get it.
Which is hilarious because that's what we get. What's wrong with you? How can you not like it?
Yeah. No. I completely understand how people can like this film and how it's goofy, it's fun, it's mindless. For me, it's that I can't quite get into those kind of characters, and I get the Americana thing. I get getting into it. It's just not my thing. It's like
so cliched and corny. I could if you just cut a half hour out of the movie. It's just I feel like that's where it started to begin, where I felt movies started getting too long. Like, I'm like, no, if you cut about a half hour out of this film, it would be faster, better, tighter, and I would enjoy the silliness more, because there'd be just be shorter.
Yeah, you could cut out some of the characters too and stuff. But yeah, there's something about this kind of stupid that I get why people like it, and in many respects, I should like it. There's just something about that rubs me a little too much the wrong way, and I think it's because I didn't quite grow up at the right age. For like this time period. I think if I was a little younger, I would have gotten into it more, and I'd be having fun, laughing at it, watching it over and over.
I take this one also a little more on faith, that it was trying to be a little spoofy with what it was doing. I don't think Emmerich had drank the Kool-Aid fully yet. No. I think Independence Day represents the last of the ones where he still realized that he was making a giant B movie. And then after that, I feel like it just got more self-important, and these movies got longer, and it's really weird. They get stupider the longer they get. So I give it that kind of credit. Like, I think it's really the last Emmerich film that's watchable.
Well, and I heard 2012 is like so stupid it's a lot of fun, but I haven't seen it.
That's the one I didn't even bother saying. I've seen every other dumb one, and I just, by 2012, I'm like, I give up. I can't.
I can't do this anymore.
I'm out.
I might check that one out, because I've heard just amazing, like, they're so bad, you gotta check it out, like, funny. But yeah, so that's, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about it to say. It's just, like I said, totally understand if you like it. Just it's not my kind of stupid.
But you're forgetting one key thing. Boomer will live.
Checkmate.
Yes.